Good afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand, and welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Sunday, January 29th, 2023, after 3 p.m. Eastern. We're going to adjust the time for everyone, and the reason that the time has shifted is because I've had a lot of people say that they can't make it at 3 and they can't make it at 3:15, and they can make it at 3:30. And you got to understand, we've got a ton of people from all over the planet coming on the internet and groups, so it's you figure it out. You guys have probably done this too, where you can't please everybody all the time. So the starting on Monday, it will be 3:15 Eastern time is when the meditation will begin. 3:15 Eastern. So we're kicking it back another 15 minutes, and hopefully more people can make that time area. The reason that we're having the one change that one time is that I have to get dental work done, and I'm, as you know, I don't miss these meditations, haven't for almost 5 years. And so, because of scheduling and everything, I have to change the time, which you guys have probably done with certain things. So I changed the time to, it should be on our website, but I start the meditation at 1 Mountain Time on February the 2nd. 1 Mountain Time, which is 3 Eastern time for you guys. And that'll be February 2nd. So it'll be 1 Mountain Time, 3 p.m. Eastern on February 2nd. Just that one day, and then we'll resume of 3:15 Eastern. From after that time, it'll go back to 3:15. So hopefully that'll help people get more adjusted to making that time, because I've had a lot of inquiries. So I want to give everybody a heads up. Misery does not exist in reality, but only in mere imagination. Sri Ramana Maharishi. Imagine what it would be like if we could experience unlimited amounts of pleasure every day. Now here's a question. Do you think you could handle it? Unlimited amounts of pleasure every day. That's a question that we should ask ourselves, because we are transitioning, and that eventually is going to be the norm, if whatever we want to call it, the norm. And you ask yourself, could I handle that? So I invite everyone to take a journey back in time and see if you can remember the most pleasurable experiences of your life. If you could choose just 1 or 2 of your most memorable experiences, what would they be? What kind of pleasure really touched your heart and made your life sing? Perhaps it was your first kiss, or meeting your first love for the first time, or perhaps just hanging out on some weekend with your best friend or best lover you ever had. The secret to this exploration is knowing what made this experience more magical, special, and memorable than any of the others. Now, as you access these ecstatic memories, try to summon a full body sensation of joy that allows your mind to relax. Try to summon a full body sensation of joy that allows your mind to relax, your heart to soften, and you feel something has let go of all your fears and worries inside. Even though your joyful memories are just memories that lead you away from the divine present moment, each memory you have still serves a very powerful purpose for you. Each of your happiest memories have the power to instantly generate a pool of pleasure chemicals in your brain, which help you to relax deeper into your heart. And this present moment, pleasurable memories can give you a jump start to reach even higher states of bliss throughout your day. Just reviewing one of your positive memories can slingshot you into feeling deep appreciation for everything and everyone in your life right now. Somewhere, something incredible is waiting to be known. Carl Sagan. Somewhere, something incredible is waiting to be known. The golden secret to this exercise is to relax into whatever joyous memory that first arises, and then you keep opening up to others that are connected to it. Explore your past from a place of curiosity, gratitude, and allow yourself to participate in the pleasure again and again. Imagine as if you are physically there right now, instead of feeling like you're sitting in the back row of your inner movie theater. Let your memory be as real as this present moment. Be sure to really feel how your whole entire body reacts to the memory. Sometimes we get so up in our heads about things that we miss out on the vast array of wonderful feelings which bring out a deeper exploration of feeling our lives as it is happening right now. This moment contains the entire universe, the source of God, which is like the bliss of 100,000 orgasms. To even stick a toe in this sacred pool of energy, we may need some guidance, and this pleasure meditation is like a supercharged springboard to catapult you there to experience the source of God, the greatest pleasure in this life. We simply need to go deep within the mind and surrender to the stillness at the very core. This almighty pleasure is found in the deepest source within you, underneath all the mind chatter, and then in a deeply eternal, loving resource state that is limitless, without boundaries, and always available. It is found in the state of pure being. The ultimate pleasure requires no thought, no memory, or a desire to arrive there. You don't need a ticket or practice 10,000 mantras to arrive. It's simply a deep state of surrender, relaxation, and profound trust in this divine moment. The greatest pleasure in this life is the one that is without concepts or effort. You don't have to do anything to attain it. It comes from just relaxing deeply in the here and now. It arrives the moment you feel into your life, letting go of the continuous doing and efforting machine and soften into pure being. The most beautiful thing we can experience is the mysterious. Albert Einstein. Those normal, right? Everyday pleasures that you're used to experiencing happen because of something outside of your body. Whether it is food, a compliment, raw chocolate, money, or a hug, you've been conditioned to find pleasure as something that comes from outside your physical body. You may think that you're dependent, right, on the outer world for all your pleasures, and yet you are not. You can access an amazing, infinite source of love, bliss, freedom, pleasure from within your body and mind at any time or place. The ultimate pleasure comes on its own accord when you are ready to receive it, when you are open, relaxed, ready to laugh, sing, dance, or simply be quiet. It finds its way into you. And remember this, and choose to immediately relax your face, forehead, and heart. Take time to explore this divine state of being inside your body. The deeper you can go into it, the higher you'll feel about life. Within 25 minutes, give or take, you can unravel years of mental battles that you have fought and won, and free yourself from the hidden fears, doubts, and worries you've entertained. Right now, choose to start releasing any suffering you are tolerating inside and start doing what feels more pleasurable. This moment, right now, is a very sacred moment. You can use this moment to destroy the illusions your mind has created or create new ones. You can choose to liberate yourself and start accessing your true unlimited pleasure now. No matter how much your ego mind, none of us are this brain, are this body, feelings, or mind. We are not the brain, we are not the body, we are not the feelings or the mind. We are a soul, a God, that will never die. That's as simple as it gets. We are a God, right? A soul that will never die. We are an infinite, immortal, pure being of light, not these bodies. Breathe this message into your body on a cellular level. You could, for example, you could say, I am not this brain, I'm not this body, feelings, or mind. And I flood my body head to toe, inside and out, every molecule, every cell, with the knowing and understanding that I am an infinite, immortal, pure being of light. So when you breathe that in, it's saturating. You'll see and feel it saturating everything. Because you're breathing it in into the cellular level. Let every cell and atom in your body and mind feel this greater truth. Let it sink into your core and permeate the deepest structure of your existence. It is a universal truth that instantly sets each of us free. Some people weave burlap into the fabric of our lives. Some weave gold thread, but both contribute to make the whole picture beautiful and unique. The more you dive within and discover this infinite truth of who you really are, the more pleasurable your life becomes. When you focus on what is within you, you are not analyzing or categorizing yourself. Instead, you are getting to know yourself on a much more intimate and spiritual level. The more you can let go and flow towards that which is on the inside, the more likely you'll meet and merge with the eternal river of goodness, which is always at the core of your being. The greatest bliss is here now. Go straight for your core and do not stop for anything or any thought along the way. Only with perseverance will you find it. Once you confine yourself to this ever-present moment, you are instantly relieved from all suffering. Total inner peace and maximum pleasure are yours. So the whole effort of humanity, the whole, and it sounds strange to some, but the whole reason that we're moving this way is because the majority doesn't even know who and what they are. And when we discover who and what we are, everything shifts, everything changes, drastically in most cases. There's no more conflict, there's no more hatred, there's no more anger. There's no more distrust. There's no more anxiety. There's no more stress. And it goes on and on and on. You tap into the true God that you really are. And the confusion has always been that we're the body. And we're not. I mean, when you put on a suit of clothes, right? You feel it. You feel it go on, and you can touch it and smell it, and you know that you have a suit of clothes on, right? But you do know also that that suit of clothes is not you. So when we get into these bodies, it's like a suit of clothes. And we know that the body affords us the opportunity to experience physical life. That's its purpose, to assist us in experiencing physical life. The ego mind, the brain, the heart, all the organs, everything. But somewhere along the line, we forgot completely. Total amnesia. I mean, the deepest amnesia anyone could experience. Now, if you were to walk up to somebody, most likely, and you said, "Who are you?" And they would say, "Well, my name is Jim Johnson." That's what they would say. It's not funny or anything. That's what they believe. They believe they're the name. They believe it, they create it. Right? Now, if someone came by and said, "Jim Johnson, do you know that body right there?" Yeah, that's not you. Now, either Jim Johnson's going to say, "This guy's a real kook. I'll just politely exit," or he may say, I've been thinking about that with myself, and when you said that, it focused directly with me, and I've been contemplating and meditating on the fact that maybe this body isn't me. Maybe this whole time I've been in it, it's been an illusion. And then you start inquiring, okay, so if I'm not the body, what am I? You're the God within the body. You've heard God before, you've heard soul, you've heard pure consciousness. You're all of those inside that body. When you connect with the God, when we do connect with the gods that we are, all of the material, physical, the body thing about suffering, pain, and disappointment, and depression, and stress, greed, manipulation, all of that disappears, vanishes. And you find yourself in the embrace of the soul, the pure consciousness, the God that you are. And it feels so good that you're like a statue. You aren't moving, you aren't thinking, you're just being. And after a while, it's so comfortable that you get to the point where you say, I don't really care to focus out there. And more, you stay with the God that you are. Any answer that you're seeking this very moment, in this lifetime, you will get it from the God that you are inside that body. Anytime you pray to the God that you are, not the body. Not to something up there, out there. And see, this civilization has been controlled by the mind, by the ego mind. It has been controlled always by the ego mind. And I'm sure that you've heard, stories, or you listen to people talk, and you kind of go, wow, they're coming from a different place, aren't they? It's like you ask yourself, why do people like to dance so much? And there's a lot of people that like to dance. It's just that some of them are too embarrassed. I think this is what I said. Well, if you're too embarrassed, do it in your house. Dance. Listen to the music. Let it flow throughout your body. Nowadays, you can just turn on your computer. You can get every song, every single artists wrote and performed since the beginning. When you come across vibrational frequencies, and here's a way to prepare yourself for those times. When you can listen to heart music, just sit, listen to it, maybe 10, 20 minutes. Don't do anything else. Close your eyes and just listen to the music. And feel it. And then you're listening to music and you fall into the now through your breath. And you're very still. And you're focused on your breath and you're in the now, which is the gateway to the God that you are. So you feel really free, loose. You're not thinking about anything, period. You're not worried, you're not stressing, you're not fearing. You're just being focused on your breath. Now, when you're out and about, you're walking around, and you interact with other people, and you'll immediately know, and this isn't judgment, this is awareness. So you'll know that, wow, that fella there, that lady there is not in the now, but in the ego mind. You'll know. See, it's like a filtering mechanism. And you also know when you associate yourself or are near others that are focused what? On the heart mind. And you pick up the fact that they seem different. And you say to yourself, how can someone be so out of the heart and so much in the head? Because, well, we know they don't know who and what they are, but also they keep going deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper into the ego mind. There are times, people have written me and said that we sometimes you can't help it but get angry about something. It doesn't have to be a huge thing. And when you do that, you embrace the anger. And you look at the anger and then you ask yourself, let's see, what caused me to become angry? What was it? What was the primer? What clicked it? Then you say to yourself, I was expressing myself. And then you ask yourself, do you need to explain yourself or not? Because with all of this shifting and changing of this planet and civilization, you'll get kind of like little pinprick of anxiousness or irritation or anger. And as soon as you do that, you can do, it's like a fail-safe. You switch into gratitude. And everything melts away. It just does. It leaves. Because focusing on gratitude lifts your vibrational frequency much higher than where it's at with anger. And something else that, civilization has been taught to do what? constantly feel guilty, constantly apologizing, constantly, oh, I'm sorry. You imagine being in a conversation with somebody, and you're talking about a loved one leaving the body, right? And so you say to this person, you say, because they wear masks, a person isn't really real. A person is, someone who wears a mask. The mask is the person, not what's underneath it. So when you say, well, yeah, my grandfather passed out of body. And you come back and say, isn't that now understand how it is on this planet right now. And you come back and say, isn't that wonderful? Isn't that amazing that God in that body had that full lifetime and now has left that lifetime and is on to maybe other lifetimes, who knows? Aren't you excited about that? Well, we know what most people would say. What, are you out of your mind? No, we're mourning. We're mourning Grandpa. It's a deep hole that's missing. You know why that is? The reason that is because we have been programmed by other people's thoughts. And this is how we are moved into that belief. Eventually on this planet, people are going to go, hey, before you leave the body, Al or Grace, let's have a little party, a celebration for all the years you've been in that body. Wouldn't that be a great idea? Yeah, let's do that. And they don't leave the body in pain and sorrow and anguish. They leave the body with enthusiasm and happiness and gratitude. And they may say, well, maybe I'll go into another body. I don't know. Maybe I'll go to another planetary system. I don't know that either. Now, here's something that during your quiet time in a meditation, you've seen these, they're balls of light. You've seen them, right? Darting around planes and everything. You know what those are? Those are gods. And not all of them, but you can tell from the frequency they emit which are and which aren't. You've probably seen these super bright too, by the way. And you've seen them in a cornfield or farming field. And they design shapes by just going over the grain and having it completely laid down. And they draw and they put images there. A lot of people call them crop circles. Well, what do you think those are? They're gods that have left physical form. Having a great time, a field day. We just haven't identified things. By going within, all of this becomes clear as a bell. All of it. You don't doubt it. The ego mind isn't there scratching at you saying, that's an anomaly, a light anomaly, or that's a spaceship. Oh, it's a drone. See, we're easy to explain things away that we don't understand. But this is all about every one of us deciding to literally go within, to go within from the perspective of no longer being entertained from the outside world. Knowing what it is, knowing what its mission is, we finally say to ourselves, I'm going to go within. I'm going to focus on meditation. Meditation is easy. Okay? And all the gurus throughout the ages have made it sound so difficult. Like, transcendental meditation or sleep meditation. I mean, there's endless people have invented these. And meditation is basically finding a quiet place and being in a comfortable position and focus on your breath. That's it. That's meditation. And you continually stay still at your own discretion where you desire to connect with the God that you are within that body. And that's why you meditate. You're meditating for discovery. And it's not like you're looking. It just means that you have made the decision to go within and find the God that you are. Discover. You know what pain is. You know what sorrow is. You know what anger is. You know all that. Goodness gracious, you've experienced it so many lifetimes. Disappointment, right? Heartbreak. I talk to a lot of people that say, I wish I would have done that when I had the opportunity to do it. You ever done that? You ever hear someone say it? I wish I would have done that when I had the opportunity to do it. Maybe I wouldn't be in the position I'm in. You see how this all... It's like, let's say you're watching people, right? Could be at the airport, could be just sitting in a grocery store, wherever. You're sitting there. You're taking a break from the rat race. You decide to just, because of all that energy bopping around and you're walking through, I'm just going to take a seat. And so you're watching people. And it's fascinating. But we want to make sure that we aren't in ego mind judgment phase, see? Because it compels you to judge them, ridicule them, cut them down. Look at the size of that woman. You know what I mean? And you're not greeting them as the God that you are and the God that they are. You're greeting them as a judge of their physical being. Look what they're eating. How could they be eating that? Oh, God, look at that over there. Now, a lot of people, there are quite a few people that will do that to inspire them to want to go even deeper within. Have you ever noticed, and here's something that's across the board for all of us, it appears, okay? And we kind of blow it off. But it appears. And you're going about things, right? And you're not really happy with yourself. You didn't get that job you wanted, or something happened. And you're kind of like mokey. Just kind of, oh well. And then you come across it, and it just appears someone that is super handicapped, can't walk, in a wheelchair, an electric chair, a wheelchair, paralyzed, many different physical things. And they're laughing and joking, and you're going, how can they be in that mood? Look at their bodies. Holy cow. And then you immediately switch and you say, I am so deeply grateful for this body that I am in this very moment, in this very now, period. It reminds us of the gratefulness that we are, that we don't tell ourselves enough. When we see someone with no legs, or see someone with no arms, see someone with no eyes, and we take all of that for granted. And we do, we know it. It's not like it's a big secret. But we're moving out of that. See, what's going to happen? What will happen in the fifth density? What do you think? What do you feel? What's going to transpire? Now, imagine you wake up every morning and you say to yourself, in the beginning, you say to yourself that, wow, I don't have to worry about any of that stuff, of getting old and sick and rotting away. That's all. That's not my life anymore. And the question you'll ask yourself is, will I enjoy it long term, or I'll eventually take it for granted? This is why we talk about being grateful all the time. Being grateful when you lay your head on the pillow for everything, being grateful when you wake up in the morning, being grateful for the course of your day, no matter what is happening outside of you. And the strange thing is that why do we say that we're here to help others? Because as we shift our frequency to a higher vibrational frequency into a fifth density, fourth, fifth, right? Fourth is like the staging ground, and then you jump from fourth to fifth because you get in harmony. You say, now I know I can increase my vibrational frequency all the way into fifth. I did it through 3 to 4, now 5. Okay? 4 reinforces the fact that you're capable, hands down, to go as far as you wish. But I don't believe that a lot of people would be able to sustain that in the beginning for very long, since it's not something that they have practiced, or it's not something that they really know how to do. You get in a car accident, right? And immediately you're happy that you're not maimed or body parts, damaged or anything. And you say, and you've probably said this yourself or someone else, it's their fault. Okay. It's actually no one's fault. You decided to be there at that time and now, in that space. You decided to drive. You decided to be there for whatever reason. And the same with them. And there's always a reason for it, because you manifested it. How could I manifest a car wreck? You do. One time I was out of body. I don't know if you experienced that. It's kind of like a blissful wave that keeps undulating, and you're just kind of floating. You're not really in the body, okay? And you're just floating, being. And when I've done that, and I have done that a few times, and I'm driving, I do it. It's kind of crazy, but it happens. And then I get in a fender bender, most people would be upset, right? They'd be upset. Frightened, maybe. Make sure they're okay. They're angry at the other person because they believe, well, they did this and that, so on and so forth. But when you're in that kind of a stasis outside the body, you're not upset. You come floating in, you're not upset at all. The other person feels that energy, and it affects them, and they calm down. You're not saying calm down, calm down, calm down to them. It's just by your actions. It's like, well, this was an adventure, wasn't it? Both of us came out unscathed. And remember, there's no such thing as a coincidence. And I'm really happy for that, for me and for you. I did that. I wasn't forced, didn't feel like I had, but it was just natural. And believe it or not, the guy who had this pickup that, was going 80 and a 50, and he caught my bumper, and I had no control. I couldn't turn the car or anything, and I just was headed right for a group of women who were coming out of a Mexican restaurant, and it was quite an experience. You had no way to break it. This truck was humongous, and you just said, okay. So you focused on their well-being, and they moved out just in time. And the vehicle, the car I was in, stopped at the perfect time. Didn't hit the restaurant. Didn't hurt anybody. So see, it's practicing, and like we would automatically respond in a gentle way. And I know that sounds strange, because someone hits your car or whatever, you get upset. You're angry. You're frustrated. And the main thing is who's going to pay for it, right? And the police officer said to me, because I was still in this kind of a ecstasy, a bliss. The police officer comes up, he says, that happened to me and my family when I was off duty. He says, I wasn't really there. And I wasn't really thinking. And he said, it almost felt like I was out of my body. So he says to me, well, the guy that I was in the accident with gets a bunch of rope and ties my bumper up for me so that I could drive the car and get it assessed. And understand that, how this is all going on because I was in a state of bliss within the body, but I was outside the body as well. She said, I'll tell you what, I'm going to give you this ticket. I'm not going to show up for the hearing on the accident. And he said, they'll dismiss it. That's exactly what happened. I went. I stood up in front of the judge. The judge called out the officer's name. Officer was not there. Judge said, case dismissed. So there's a lot of power we carry, and we aren't aware of it. That's my point of telling you this story, sharing it with you, is that we don't really realize how powerful of beings we are. This isn't a force, a negative energy. This is an energy that we are. We express ourselves when we finally discover this in a much different way than we would have through ego mind. By far. Absolutely by far. You see, when we're in a state of pure gratitude 24/7, a lot of these things never occur. And when they do, by chance, maybe, we are deeply grateful for them happening because we manifested a message for ourselves. and the message was in that or anything else. So when we talk about loving oneself deeply and eternally, being kind and gentle and humble and generous with oneself, being in deep gratitude 24/7, you're never going to run out of gratitude. You're not, ever. And see, there's a lot of benefits to it. And those benefits are basically, I listen to my body more closely. With a vessel that carries me around, I get much more of a knowledge base about my body. And I learn how to take care of my body and heal my body. Your whole life changes. If you do it out of the ego mind, you might as well not even do it. If you do it through the heart mind, it's a whole different ballgame. And your life changes forever. And I don't mean in a negative way at all. I'll join you in the meditation. I'll return to close us out. Take an easy and slow breath in through the nose, and an easy and slow breath out from the mouth. Remain still. No matter how many times you've been hurt in the past or rejected by someone you really trusted, the energy of love will still be there for you. The source of real love never ever changes. It is like an infinite sun, always warming and lighting the way for whatever is nearby. We are the source of infinite love deep down inside. It's just underneath all the fear and resistance to it. It is safe to be your real warm self and shine that light on everyone you encounter. It's the safest place we will ever find on this earth. The love will protect us from all harm on any level. We can give it away as much as we want, and we will find there is always an infinite supply of it at the very core. Some people may feel it, others may fear it. What matters most is that you are in touch with it now, connecting with it, and enjoying it as much as you possibly can. The amazing quality of life, that love bridge, is worth the risk. So take a deep breath right now and commit yourself, or devote yourself, your life, to this love. Perpetually choose from now on to relax into this safe source of love inside. The magic simply happens by letting go of your resistance to it. Today is your golden moment to experience the real truth of how awesome, incredibly divine, and lovable we all actually are. Take this with you for the rest of the day, into the evening and night and following morning, and we will return here Monday, January 30th, 2023, 3:15 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation call. Be in deep gratitude for yourself. Love, be kind, gentle, generous, and humble with yourself at all times, in deep gratitude.